A couple years down the road, you wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh man.
Well, you start school at 8. So you want to make sure you're up in time to get
School?
yourself, yeah, you got the old shit shower and shave in the morning.
Oh, okay.
You so you do that, you wake up in the morning, you take just a big fat shit from the night before.
Gross.
You shave your fucking head, other parts of your body,
Oh.
whatever your schedule
I
says to shave.
have a schedule,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
a shaving schedule.
Yeah. You're doing this thing where you're taking a picture of your body every day and you're shaving your body hair in a way so that it looks like it's moving, like it's waves rippling across you.
Why?
It's a bunch of stills put together, but so every few days or whatever, you have to just shave and put the next picture in place in the sequence to make it look like waves. Because why I don't know, you're just looking for something to do, right?
Jeez. Yeah.
And you've been saying the Pledge of Allegiance a lot now that you're in school again.
Yeah, why am I in school?
So you get up, you stand in front of your classroom, and you get to the edge of the end of the Pledge of Allegiance, and you just feel patriotic, you know. So you put on what's that? Amber Waves of Grain. That makes you just like shave your chest, and you put that song on. Your ultimate goal is to like put that song on underneath
The
just those
waves.
waves that you sculpt on your chest. But either way, you've been doing that a lot lately. So you shit, shower, shave, take your photo. It's a big day. And then you go to school. You get in the car, you drive to school, you get there around 7:30, kind of get your class set up for the day. You get everything pulled up on your computer, you got your paper, you got whatever it is you're doing, all your prep. You pop your door open at about 7:45.
I'm glad that
Slowly, kids.
I'm glad that I'm teaching because for a second I thought this was like a Billy Madison
No,
type.
no, no.
No, okay,
No, you're teaching. You're teaching English. You're teaching high school English.
okay,
And it's not necessarily what you planned on, but it's fulfilling. You
okay,
you enjoy it. You enjoy it more than you thought you would have. So again, kids start kind of filing in around 7:45. They've got headphones in, they're being loud. It's the last few minutes before the school day starts. It's the last bit of their time. And you like the kids in your homeroom class. They're the kids that you see the most. They're kids that you talk to, the most.
okay,
It's it's the class period that you feel like you have the best relationship with. And over the last, 3 months of teaching, you've gotten like kind of close with some kids. You are excited to see what comes next in their lives. And you understand like how this kind of a career can be so emotionally fulfilling in spite of its challenges. You're shaping people.
okay.
And there's like, yeah, you have your favorites, of course. You have the kids that you might like joke with a little bit more. The kids that take it easy on, the kids you can push.
Okay.
Frankly, the kids that like without your intervention are not going to make it out.
Oh my God.
And you think that is your job as a teacher is like How do we set them up for success best?
When you mean they're not going to
Is
make it out, you mean like they're not going to get like graduate that year, or
Yeah, yeah. Like, does this kid really need to learn, how to write a fucking essay and how to cite sources on a paper? Does he really need to learn that? We all know he's not going to college. We know
sure?
that he's gonna work for the city or do some kind of a blue collar job. Like, he doesn't need this to prove that he's like ready to move on.
Okay,
So some of those kids you give a little bit more breathing room to. Some of those kids you ask but you don't push.
okay,
You try to inspire those kids. So it's like it's a very fulfilling thing. And it's an exciting time of year in class too. Prom is coming up in like a week and a half. And again, like your kids are excited. A lot of them have like already paired off and have
yeah,
made plans with friends. And
okay.
there's like post prom parties stuff that's being talked about. It's like an exciting. It's in the moment it feels like monumental when you're that age. When you're like, this is the most important event.
Oh, sure, yeah,
It's the biggest thing that you have when you haven't experienced anything big.
yeah,
So yeah, you're everybody's excited. It's a positive, happy time. And your class comes in the morning. Everybody's kind of just hanging out. You got your favorite kids. There's this girl, Nikki Columbine.
oh
And
gosh.
yeah, she's like, I know, you know, you know, you know,
Oh man.
yeah. And she's also like whip smart. She's really funny. She sends you like comic books she likes. She has been accepted to she's been accepted to University of Texas El Paso. She's gonna go there and
Uh,
study uh biology,
okay.
but it's BUYology.
What?
Yeah, it's like this. It's like the study of consumerism, and whatever.
Biology.
Yeah,
All right. Well, good for you.
yeah, yeah. She actually like several years down the road, she gets a job at like a medical laboratory because they think it's actual biology, and she unleashes like a very deadly virus that kills like 6 million
Oh.
people worldwide.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah. So whatever.
Well, I
Nikki
can't
has
do anything
like,
about that. Yeah.
yeah,
Jeez,
maybe
Nikki.
Nikki is like one of your favorites. Like she's really cool. Again, you guys are like comic book friends.
Cool.
You will like bring stuff in for her to read. She brings you guys do like trades and stuff.
Okay.
There's there's this guy, his name is Al uh Shannon.
Al Shannon.
And he's just like he's like the sweetest guy, you know. He's just like the nicest, most like kind of like just like all American. He's just like a boy next door type. He's
Okay.
just like he's just that kid. He hasn't ever met he's never met a stranger. He's never met anybody who didn't like him. And he's not like gregarious. He's just like kind and sweet, maybe even a little on the shy side. But you uh you get a
So
lot out of him.
this is only gonna like mean something to a very small amount of people, but it's Hunter Duncan.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just classic boy next door,
Yeah.
handsome,
Hunter Duncan
right?
as a teen.
So yeah, but you get along with him great, obviously, you know. You guys he's like quietly very funny. He's one of those kids.
Yeah,
He's like
sure.
a real he's like a real treat to have around.
Okay.
Um there's this other kid, his name is uh Tariq Felton. And he he's like kind of like class clown kind of kid, you know. He's always
Okay.
got a smile on his face. He's jovial. Everybody loves him. He cracks you up big time. He's like very funny. He's very clever. He's very witty. He's not mean about it. Just a nice kid who's just like likable and funny.
Okay.
So yeah, you get like kind of close with
Sure.
some of these kids, you know? You're involved in their lives to such a degree that you know uh that Tariq tried out for the baseball team and didn't make it. And you know that it like really bothered him because he came in with his
Yeah,
head hung
bummer.
low the next day, you know? You know that Nikki Columbine tried to start an anime group after school and only like one other person showed up. So she feels like probably like a little out of place. And that might be why she gravitates to you so much because you have this like shared common interest. You know that. You
Yeah.
know that like Al Shannon is like Al Shannon just asked the cutest girl in school out to prom. And she said yes.
Really?
Yeah. Her name was Rebecca Stein. And she you know, was kind of like on the free agent market, was like, you know, tip top,
Okay.
number one most desirable free agent. And, you know, Al Shannon just kind of swooped in with his good looks, his boyish charm, you know, and like really kind of swept her off her feet. And everybody in school is kind of like, can you believe that Al and Rebecca are going together? And then everybody
So,
kind of thinks about it and they're like, well, I guess, yeah, I mean, like Al's the coolest. Everybody loves Al.
so I'm up on the goss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are full of that tea, baby.
Sugar free for me.
So it's just kind of like a normal, like Wednesday morning, you know, it's a normal Wednesday. The way your school works is you have your homeroom class. They start the day with you. You have like a 30-minute start. It's kind of this new thing where there's like a 30-minute start period where you just kind of everybody gets it settled in, they get assimilated. It's kind of a study hall thing where if you need to finish anything or you got to do something in the library, whatever, it just gives people sort of an unstructured free time to start their day so they can set themselves up for success throughout class for the rest of the day. They go throughout the rest of their schedule, their classes, they do their coursework, lunch, recess, whatever it is, however it worked out. And then at the last 30 minutes of the day is kind of like another homeroom period where they come back and they end the day with you. So that one is a lot more interactive where you talk about, hey, what did you learn today? You know, does
Oh, okay.
anybody need help with homework? What can, you know, and it's kind of, it's, you know, it's stuff like that. It's just like a cool down period. And so you're kind of, you know, you go about your morning, you have your, it seems like an average Wednesday, right? You're sitting there, it's about 2:15. You got about a little over a half hour left before school ends. Your kids come in for like their second homeroom class of the day, and there's kind of like a buzz in the air. Everybody's kind of like kind of shut down a little bit, which happens end of the day, you know. Kids get busy, they get, you know, their brain gets worn out.
Yeah, I can see that.
But this is like a little more than normal.
What's going on?
You're like, hey, what's going on, everybody? And Tariq he sits like in the front row. He goes, you know, Mr. Daltmeyer, the science teacher? And you're like, yeah, I know Mr. Daltmeyer. They go, he goes, that guy just learned how to control the weather.
What?
And you're like, what? And then Nikki's
Oh
like, yeah.
no.
He's like, yeah. He goes, look outside. You look outside, and it is just fucking raining, right? You pull the window up, it is pouring. It's raining. You know, sometimes in Texas, a storm will just roll in. There's nothing to really stop it. Like,
Yeah, of course.
you know, geographically speaking, it's there's so much flat that a storm just rolls through and it dumps and it's gone and it's just like a flash.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that, but it's been doing it for a little while. You can see that there's water pooling up on some of the streets. Part of the walkways are impassable due to low spots that are now flooded. And you're like, holy shit, like it's
Yeah.
raining a lot, you know? And you look back at the class and you go, so wait, Mr. Daltmeyer, what are you talking about? And and Al, he goes, go up there. He's got a whole setup. He's controlling the weather from the second floor of this high school.
That's not good. Well,
Yeah, and
maybe it is good.
Al goes, and he said he's gonna have it rain up until prom.
Why?
Al kind of like bites his lip. He goes, he's gonna ruin prom. And everybody knows what's on the line for Al at prom. Going out with the hottest girl in school.
Sure, yeah.
So
Um,
you look at Al and you're like, are you he goes you go like are you guys playing a joke on me? Like what's going on? And they're all like, no, they're as serious as can be. They're all like, go look, go. Do you go?
I go, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. You guys just, do what, just don't get loud.
They go, okay. You close the door behind you. You walk up the stairwell to the uh science wing of the building. You look through like the door of Mr. Daltmeyer's room, like the window, there's like black paper covering it up. It
Hmm,
does a sound like you put your ear to the door and it does sound like a whirring. You hear some sort of mechanical sound through the door. You
hmm.
grab the handle and you go to open it. It's locked. What do you do?
I go to the office.
You go down to the office. The secretary who's been at the school for like feels like 50 fucking years. Her name is Shirley. Shirley sits behind one of those like metal desks and she goes, "Good afternoon, Mr. Dean. What's going on?"
Do you know what's going on in Mr. Daltmeyer's room right now?
She kind of like looks at her computer and she goes, he doesn't have a homeroom, so he has a free period right now. But I haven't heard anything. What's up?"
The
She
kids say
chews on
that
the end of a pen.
the
She's
kids
like
are
halfway up this pen.
really.
Yeah, she Shirley chews on every pen that she has, but she doesn't just like chew the end. Like she makes her way up the shaft of the pen until there's like nothing but like just whatever ink is left in like the tip.
What?
Yeah. You know how some people chew on a pen? Shirley chews on the entire pen.
All right. Shirley is all right. I go, look, this
One
is gonna
side of her
sound
face is like significantly larger than the other. She's been doing this for so many years. Like, and maybe okay, significantly might be like not the right word, but noticeably, I will say.
noticeably okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go,
Shirley has two
Shirley,
very different looking profiles.
I go, this is gonna sound kind of strange, but the kids were saying that he has some kind of weird machine that he's working on. Do you know anything about this?
She takes the 50% pen out of her mouth. You take note at how flat and wide the back half of this pen is after she's gnashed on it for who knows how long.
Surely.
She goes, nobody said anything about Mr. Daltmeyer. She goes, did you go by his room?
Yeah, it's locked and there's like it's like black the window's blacked out and there's like weird noises. I don't know. It's probably
She
nothing,
she laughs. She goes, you know how science teachers are.
I guess. What?
Yeah. There's been a lot of issues with science teachers at this school over the past few years, you know.
What do you mean?
One guy had like a mirror and it was like a concave mirror that he could like focus to a point and he could set things on fire with it. And he accidentally set a kid's shirt on fire with it last year.
Oh, jeez.
He just had it like off to the side, like he was talking, and he didn't realize that it was like focused, and it like caught this kid's shirt on fire
Wow.
immediately, and the kid like got like second-degree burns, and the school got sued, you know, and they had to fire him.
Jeez.
So he was last year. The year before that, a guy uh tried to show dogs breeding in like a class. He brought in two dogs that were like in heat or whatever, and
Okay.
just like had him in like a kennel and was like talking about like life and reproduction and all that. And they were like, you can't just have two dogs fucking in your classroom, you know?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, they had to fire him from that, you know? So yeah, they're like, there's been some issues with science teachers over the last few years.
Hey, in that case, don't you think we should maybe look into this?
She was like, Pat,
I'm into this.
she was Pat, Mr. Daltmeyer is in his free hour. He might be working on a professional exam. He might be working on creating an experiment for his students in the upcoming weeks. She goes, let the man have his personal time. If the door's locked, it's locked for a reason. Mr. Daltmeyer has been here for 22 years
Yeah.
and has a spotless record. She goes, do you think he's making a machine to control the weather? Really?
I don't know.
She goes, yeah, you do, Pat.
But
She goes, hey, today's hump day. It's
yeah.
all downhill from here. Have a good day. She goes back to chewing on that pen. You turn around, you go back upstairs. You go, I'm gonna look one more time.
Yeah.
You knock on the door. You see the black like construction paper move away from the glass, and you see the bright blue eye of Mr. Daltmeyer. You hear sound stop, and he like unlocks the door and like cracks it open. He goes, hey Dean, what can I do for you?
Hey, what do you what's going on in there?
He's like visibly sweating, and he's like, oh, you know, just my free hour, coming up with some experiments for the kids, you know, some
Is it about the
labs, working on
is
some
it about the
labs.
weather or anything?
He kind of laughs. He looks around. His eyes dart from side to side. He goes, "Ah, Pat, you know, we cover a lot of things in environmental science." He goes, don't you have a homeroom right now?
Yeah.
He goes, don't you think you should get back to that?
Yeah, I guess so. All
He
right.
goes, great.
All right, see you
He
later, I
closes the
guess.
door, right? He covers the window back up again. You hear the whirring begin again. You look out the window as soon as that whirring begins, like it starts raining again. Like it seemed like it had stopped. But as soon as that whirring starts, you see just rain, another just torrential downpour.
Oh, okay. I guess I go talk to the kids and I go, guys, what are you just tell me what's going on.
And they're like, we don't know how to tell you this any different. He has a machine that's controlling the weather. It's in his room. And he says he's going to run it all the way up through prom.
Okay. Did he say why?
He said he's tired of the science department being underfunded and he's asking for more money. He goes, not even for him, but just so that we can have, you know, projects. And he has chemicals and supplies and things like that. So he said he's going to make it rain all the way through prom. You see Al kind of like balls his fist up. He's a pretty cool customer though. So he like
Yeah.
does a breathing technique and he releases it.
Okay. I guess what I do then is go, guys, here's the deal. I have to imagine this is some kind of like bizarre misunderstanding. Let's just do whatever work you have to get done and we'll fit, but by tomorrow, I feel like I'll actually have an answer for you guys. I just can't imagine that's what's going on.
Yeah.
You
So
misheard
you
or something.
all the kids are kind of like, okay, if you say so, Mr. Dean, you know, they're kind of like that.
Okay.
So you go home, right? You wake up the next morning, 6:30, shit shower, shave.
Yeah.
You go to school. As you're pulling up to the school, you like look up into like where um Mr. Daltmeyer's classroom is, and you see just like pulsing light, you know. And by God, it is still raining.
Oh man. He's like Doctor
It,
Doom.
it's like a slow, steady rain. You see, you look up in the window, you see him like raise his arms and he claps, and there's a lightning bolt in the distance. So you get to school, you like run
Oh,
inside, Shirley sitting at her desk, pen three-quarters of the way gone, just annihilated, right?
yeah.
It's so like wide, like the way that she is chewed, how thin she's made this plastic. It's like so wide. Like she has one of them that she keeps at her desk and she uses it as a fan. That's kind of like her
Jeez.
side gig. She'll like chew these pens down to where they're like fan size, and then she draws on them and decorates them and she sells them online.
To who? Who would buy that?
You know, people who want like a beautiful, delicate, I mean, they look good, fan.
Okay, that sucks so bad. That's so
Yeah,
lame.
there are people who are fans of Fans by Shirley.
Yeah.
That's her company name.
Okay.
Sometimes like she chews on them after lunch and there's like little bits of like food that get like stuck in them.
Oh.
And those are the ones that people love the most.
Why?
She sells them for between 30 and $180 a fan. So,
What?
come in, Shirley's like fanning herself, right?
Yeah, okay.
She's gnawing on one of these pens. And you go, Shirley, I don't mean to be a bother. She goes, but like I pulled up to today and there's like a light coming from Mr. Daltmeyer's room. He's standing in the window. He's clapping in time with thunder and lightning. And like, she goes, we have to get up there.
There's something going on, surely.
And you go, and she kind of like looks at you and she goes, just so I can tell my homeroom kids, because they're going to be hassling me about it. And you kind of like reach into your jacket pocket. You pull out a box of 24 brand new plastic Bic pens
Oh.
and you put them on the table, you slide them across to her, and, and he goes, consider this a gift.
But God, I'm not
She kind of
smooth
looks,
about this.
she looks down at them, she looks up at you, she kind of huffs and puffs, and she goes, fine. She walks into the office next door and grabs like a set of keys. The two of you guys ascend a stairwell. You're in the science wing. You go up to Mr. Daltmeyer's door. You knock again, whirring noises, blacked out mirror, locked door handle.
I mean, this could not be more obvious. He's clearly, yeah.
So Shirley is like, she grabs the key, she undoes it, and swings the door open. And sure enough, he's got a machine pointed out the window. It's got like a satellite dish thing on it. There's a computer hooked up to it, and you just hear woo 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 this whirring noise.
Holtmeyer,
The
what the
lights.
fuck?
He goes, oh no.
But
He goes
oh no.
he goes, you guys, you caught me. He goes, I was just perfecting my machine. And Shirley
He
goes,
just confesses.
she goes, what the fuck are you doing? You know? And he's like, look, I needed the chemicals that were available in the lab, and I needed a constant power source that the grid that a school is on would bring. He goes, but I did it. I finally did it, Shirley. He goes,
But
after 30 years, I can finally control the weather. And he
you're
just
doing
laughs.
experiments at a place that has like children in it, dude.
He goes, a little rain never hurt anybody.
Are you insane?
He kind of laughs, right? The principal comes up there. He's like beat red. He goes, what the fuck is going on here? He sees the
Whoa.
weather machine,
Who's this
right?
guy?
And his name is Chuck Chesterman, and he's been a principal here for like 3 years. People like him. He's a nice enough guy, right? He's pretty supportive of everybody. He always tries to make sure that teachers are fairly, compensated when School board shit comes around. He's like got their backs, you know. But he goes, Daltmeyer, we talked about this.
Oh,
And he goes, you're fired.
holy shit. This now
Dalt
this is the fucking tea, dude.
Daltmeyer, you look out and you see that there's just kids like recording with their phones, like right in the doorway. You see him there and you kind of like step over away so they have a better view. So you see Mr. Daltmeyer. He goes, come on, Chuck. He goes, I've been here 22 years. He goes, yeah, I'm a good teacher. You know that. Chuck says to him, he goes, you can't just have this experiment going on. He goes, this isn't school board approved. He goes, who knows if this thing's even safe? He goes, you need to get your shit out of here and leave right now and don't come back because I'm calling the cops. So
Whoa.
Mr. Daltmeyer packs up his computer. He has like a little box kind of a thing. He has that folds up that the dish, the antenna thing sets on top of. He walks out of this classroom with a smile on his face and he goes, you can keep this job. He goes, I'm on to bigger and better things.
Oh
And he
no.
just walks out the fucking door.
This is like a supervillain origin story.
He walks out, gets out into his car, and he drives away. Every day over the next week and a half, it just fucking rains. Right? All the kids are bummed. They're talking
He's
about
still
canceling
doing it?
prom. Yeah,
Why?
I don't know. They're talking about canceling prom because the venue is apparently flooded, you know. So the last minute they move it into like the gymnasium at the school. They're like, look, we know this isn't like prom, but it, we still wanted to do something for you guys. So they're having a dance at the school.
Okay. That's good.
You're chaperoning, right?
Ugh.
You're there in like a suit and tie. You're escorting kids as they come in out of the rain. You're holding an umbrella, helping kids as they come in. And prom, like it honestly goes pretty well, all things considered.
Okay, yeah.
You're about an hour in. You know what I mean? You're like getting close to the time where you're gonna announce king and queen, and then you're gonna have the final dance, and that's it.
We are out of there.
You're almost done. The band they queue up Amazed by Lone Star. You're standing
Okay.
there by the punch table. You watch the boys and girls pair off. Some of them maybe a little more handsy and holding each other a little tighter than what some chaperones would allow. But you remember you were a kid, you know
Yeah, I'm not getting involved with that. I just act like I don't.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, come on.
You're not getting involved.
Absolutely not.
You hear the opening like
I don't even want to
slide.
chaperone this.
The first couple notes on the piano of Amazed. The intensity of the rain really starts to pick up. The lights flicker for a second. You know how like the power will just like flash off for just like a split second and like nothing
Uh-huh.
happens. Like
Yeah.
that kind of happens, you know. The next thing you know, you hear like the break of a window. You look out, you're like in the gymnasium. One of the windows along like the top by the ceiling is like open now. So like
Okay.
balloons are like getting sucked out of the window.
Jeez.
A door that's on the same side just flings open. And you can walk over to pull it closed. You look out into the parking lot and you see in the driving rain Mr. Daltmeyer. He's got like a controller in his hands, a satellite attached to some contraption that he's strapped to his back.
Oh, you motherfucker.
What do you do?
I go, dude, what the hell? I yell at him.
He can't hear you. He's just maniacally laughing out in a driving fucking rain. He's getting soaked. You see the tip of the antenna turns bright red.
I guess
You
I
go,
slam. Yeah, I slammed the door shut and I go, guys, he's here.
you slam the door shut.
Grab a microphone.
Daltmeyer turns it up, and that door just gets swung open again. You get pulled out into the rain. You're like
Oh,
holding onto the door. You skid across the parking lot.
oh,
Every time I rise, me, it's feeling inside me.
wait, does anyone notice?
Yeah, the band they press pause. There's like a solo in that song. They fucking press it right in the middle when it's really getting ripped up, you know. And the
Okay.
and the DJ's like got his hand over the pause button because he's like, I really should let this play out, you know, but he doesn't. So you stand up. You're being pelted by the rain. You look out. You see Daltmeyer across the parking lot, just laughing at you. What do you do?
I run and I tackle him and I yell, Daltmeyer.
Hey, I don't know what happened there.
That's okay. So hold on. So I see Daltmeyer and I run and I tackle him.
You run at him, right? You run through the parking lot, the soles of your shoes squishing against you. You look back in a moment, and several of the students have like run outside. You see, uh, you see Al, right? You see Nikki. You see Tariq. They're all like, Mr. Dean. You run like you're ready to like tackle, right? The
Yeah.
kids are out like running after you. You hear the maniacal laughter of Mr. Daltmeyer. He gets closer to you and he hits a button, and a lightning bolt comes out and strikes you right in the head, and it
Uh,
drops you to the ground. It also then bounces off of you and it hits the closest student next to you. That
what?
was Al. Al also dies in the parking
Oh
lot.
no, Al. Oh.
Rebecca, the cutest girl in school, just screams and comes and cries over his red hot corpse.
Oh man.
Al Al was a great kid, and he went to heaven immediately and became an angel,
Whoa.
and he was just the most handsome boy next door angel you ever seen in your whole fucking life. And you died fried to a crisp right there in the parking lot.
I can't believe that.
When you were struck in the head, your body had an involuntary contraction and you just shit and piss everywhere.
Oh shit. No.
Yeah.
So he went to heaven and I didn't.
I don't know what you did. I just know that he did.
He became the alpha. That's
Yeah, I guess.
unbelievable, Aaron.
Just the most handsome boy next door, windswept chestnut brown hair,
God
rugged
damn it.
jawline. So
This
handsome.
guy. Whatever.
Yeah.